I'm sorry. Did you say tungsten ball sack?
Yes.
Yes. As an offensive spell, it's very offensive.
Hmm. That's almost as bad as itchy bones.
That just
Yeah.
makes me
What
think
is-
of the bone cancer image. Have you ever seen that picture of the skeleton with bone cancer?
I don't think I
No.
want to.
Yeah,
I don't think I want to either.
if you're really inclined to, it's what itchy skeleton, it's what you would think of if itchy skeleton was like a real thing.
Oh God, why
The
am I
mere
doing this?
concept of that
Why am I
wants me to
doing
remove
this?
all of my skin. Oh, wait. All right, I don't
Why am
have
I
that.
doing this? Why am I doing? Oh God, I hate it.
Yeah,
Oh, I hate it.
yeah, it's terrible.
Oh my God. Oh, it's like this. Oh, it's
Oh,
like it's furry. It's like it's furry.
Yep,
yeah.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
God.
Yeah.
that's what I think itchy skeleton would look like.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could get cancer in your bones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I actually had a scare a few years ago.
that's the thing that I introduced you to now.
Thanks. I hate it.
That's probably where I saw it.
Oh my God.
That's where Reddit is where 95% of my garbage that I put into the guild chat comes from.
I would have figured at this point it's just Twitter.
No, I just use Twitter to yell at sports teams, and that's about it.
When you say yell at sports teams, do you mean like you're like adding the Eagles?
Um, it's a public tweet, so I do the dot at whatever team or whatever organization that I'm yelling at. Just yelling into the ether.
Do they ever respond?
No, of course not.
They've got an absolute policy of no engagement on those sorts of things.
Yeah, they're not Wendy's.
No,
Wendy's will
fair enough.
respond with a damn thirst trap. Like, oh,
Yeah,
There are some there are some social media, uh, I don't know, I guess reps that
managers.
like you could managers, yeah, that you could tell they love their job. Like
Yeah, especially the fast food wars that they get into on
yeah,
Twitter. Incredible. I love
yeah.
it
I
there's a
so
think
guy on
much.
someone
TikTok.
realized if they let them off their leash just enough, they will get the engagement that they crave.
There's a
Although,
guy on TikTok who does a series where he'll see someone complain to a business or he'll see somebody complain about a business like on Facebook or something, and then he'll make a
a
fake
fake,
account
yeah, I
for the
love that
business
guy.
and respond to them.
Oh, yeah. I've seen a couple of those.
I love that guy.
And
Although,
like it's literally just starting problems where there are none.
I mean, what
Yeah,
else
he
was the
does
internet
that.
designed for?
He does that responding on the official page though, right?
No,
With
I
like
think he does
with
it
like a
on their
clone photo.
personal pages.
Oh, okay. So he
So like if
comes he
someone's
comes to
like,
their
"Screw you,
house.
Wendy's, you screwed up my order," he'll make a fake Wendy's account and be like, "I don't feel bad."
And like he starts off the interaction in like the customer service way, and then just tears into them. I think one of my favorites was the receipt one, where somebody was complaining about needing to show their receipt, and then like the punchline of his whole thing was, "I'm gonna need to see your receipt."
Wow.
Why do people get so bent at it? Just show the receipt. Just show the
Because
receipt.
unless you are in a private like membership club, you are not legally required to stop and show your receipt.
Really,
Yep.
legally, there's laws on the books for that?
Legally, they have no right to stop you and ask you for your receipt if you are shopping in a
Fascinating. I did
publicly
not know that.
accessible store.
So
So you
for
can
like instance, a Walmart, no, but
you
a
can
Costco, yes, because
yes.
that's technically a membership.
Yep. Thank you, Ooga Lord.
Interesting.
Yep.
Oh, I love his videos. Ugo Lord, I love him.
Yeah, you can just if you can just walk right past the security guard trying to check your receipt, and by the law, they can't do anything.
Interesting. Well, then in that case, I amend my previous statement. Pry my receipt from my cold dead hands. How about that?
Yeah, but if you already have the receipt in your hand, just show them the receipt.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, don't.
And then
Don't cause a problem that
on the
doesn't have
other
to be.
hand, don't get bent out of shape when they're trying to buy a frozen pizza and they don't show you a receipt. It's a frozen pizza.
It's not the end of the world.
Because
Like,
there
I
was
just want to
that.
go home and eat my sad, cold cardboard pizza at home.
There was a short where a guy got I saw a short where a guy got tased and arrested for not showing his receipt for a $7 frozen pizza.
Jesus.
Like after he offered to show the receipt, it's just like after he was like detained, because they don't have the right to detain you.
That's a lawsuit.
Yeah,
That's a huge lawsuit.
so he was detained, and then he was like, "I'll show you the receipt," and then they called the police anyways, and then escalated the altercation.
As police tend to do.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when they get out of their car, somebody has to go to jail. That's just the way it works.
They're jonesing for that ID.
Jonesing for that ID. They're like addicts.
Haven't had that hit of ID yet today. I need it.
They haven't had that hit of ID yet today. My God, they got to have that ID. They're like, honestly, like, oh man, they just, they need it. They need it.
Oh, I love the shorts where the people are just like, "What crime have I committed? If you can't tell me what crime I've committed, you get no ID. That's the law. That's the way the Fourth Amendment works."
That's the way it works. I like when they're like, well, you're under suspicion. It's like, suspicion's not a crime. Somebody can suspect me of doing something. That was always allowed.
Is suspicion a misdemeanor or a felony?
What oracle told you that I am going to have done something? Like, is this Minority Report?
In a way, yes. If you take the words and change around the meanings, yes.
Officer
And you know
Tom
what really
Cruise.
gets me with scenarios like that too, where they get so offended when they don't get the ID. And like, especially because like one of my favorite things to hear is, you know, I don't have to do it's not my job to aid you in your investigation. And it's like, you know, if you actually put in a little bit of legwork, you could a cop can find your identity. Like, you know, if you suspect someone's up to no good and they're not IDing because you don't have anything concrete, hang around a little bit. Check it out. Observe. See if they go to a car. Get the license plate. Like, you know, like there's ways to do it.
You know, do your job.
Do your job. There's ways to find, and if you want to identify someone and they're not cooperating, you can get that information. You're just going to have to do a little legwork for it. Sorry.
And lawsuits should be paid out by their pensions.
Absolutely. 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 And they should be better trained.
Yeah. It's the whole thing is you shouldn't defund the police. You should hold the accounting accountable.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Instead of buying equipment, they need to do training.
Training, and if the police are fired, they get a mark on their employment where they are no longer eligible to be rehired by any other department.
Oh yeah,
I
there's
have been
no
saying this.
requirement
Because
for checking that across states.
so
If I
what they do
remember
is
correctly.
like it's not even that. It's like they'll get fired from a county and they'll just go one county over and then get hired
Yeah.
for the same thing.
And you know what drives me crazy? So my mother, when I was growing up, my mother was a hairdresser, and she had to go to, cosmetology school, and she had to get a hairdressing license, and she has to keep up with that. I mean, honestly, she should stop renewing her license because God only knows when the last time she cut her hair, but she still has it. Why do we give people guns and authority, but we require, if we're licensing hairdressers, why aren't we licensing cops?
You know, the funny thing about licensing hairdressers is the amount of chemistry they end up actually having to need to know, because a lot of the chemicals for like the bleach and for the all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff,
for
it's
coloring.
crazy complicated, and they have to keep that in
Yeah,
mind so they don't like burn all your hair off and give you chemical burns.
yeah, exactly. But like, just for hair. So like,
Yeah.
why are we giving these people this supreme power and authority and the weapons and the ability to deliver lethal force? Yet they can just, if they when they screw up, it's like a shell game, you know?
And you know what the kicker is? The kicker is the police have no legal obligation to protect you.
No, no, they're here to protect property.
I think my understanding was they don't need, the quote was, they don't need to understand the law to enforce it, which
Which is funny because in the courts, your misunderstanding of the law or lack of knowledge of the law is not an excuse.
Yeah, yeah, and then of course, when cops don't understand the law and they arrest people for things that aren't against the law, then it just continues the drain on funds. Because like, they need a court appearance. Yeah, there's a cost associated with it. You're just wasting more money because of your own ignorance.
One of my favorite
It's crazy.
people on YouTube is Judge Fleischer. He's a judge down in Texas.
Oh yeah, I like Judge Fleischer. He's
He-
a judge in Texas, right?
Yeah, yep. He's just a no nonsense judge. If you're in the wrong, you're in the wrong. If you're in the right, you're in the right. He's the one.
I like when I've seen a couple videos where like they'll be reading the PR, the police report,
Yep.
and he'll be like, and what was the cause? Like, what was the probable cause?
Walking while black.
Like walking while black. Like it's all circumstantial. Like this is not. No, get.
He
Like,
was
and I
in
think
the
there was one
area,
clip
so
where I
he
said, like,
detained him.
where
What?
he said like he turned to like his court assist or something. He was like, we might have to do a workshop or something to teach these guys how to write PRs. Like this is crazy.
Yeah. I love the ones where the prosecutors bring in a case and they don't have the OR. There's a couple I've watched where the judge wants them to read the officer report and the prosecutor doesn't have it. It's like, what are we doing here?
I'll see those kinds of videos where like he's haranguing the prosecutor for like not being prepared or for the OR being bad or something like that, and then like the defendant will be like, "Can I say something?" And he'll look at them and be like, "Are you losing? No, shut up. I'm on your side. Don't make it worse for yourself."
And he specifically asks anybody who shows up by themselves, do you have a lawyer? No. Do you want one? It's your right to have a lawyer. We'll get you a lawyer, and then we'll reschedule this because you need a lawyer.
You need a lawyer.
And anybody who tells you that you don't need a lawyer, you definitely need a
Is
lawyer.
lying to you. You need a lawyer.
oh, is that the what was it? The sovereign citizens that try that a lot.
Sovereign citizens are bananas.
Sovereign citizens try a lot of things. A lot of it is nonsense. Which, speaking of nonsense, welcome to another episode of today's theme. Thank you for joining us here today. Please like the video, subscribe, and if you'd like, let us know you're here down below in the comments. I am your host, Mara. Joining me as always is Asher Dales
Ew.
and Lostronaut.
Hello.
And today's theme is phobias and fears.
And
Things
likes.
that hide in the dark.
And likes. If you have a weird like.
And likes. Okay, yeah.
Because I have
Dark like.
I have a couple things where I like weird things.
Well, that sounds like a lead in if I've ever heard one.
So I like the way hair moves. I'm oddly like attracted to the way that hair moves.
I so like the flow and bounce of hair.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
No idea why. But
I
like
can see that.
it's just like when I'm watching somebody like walk or dance, it's like I'm like looking at their hair.
Okay. Now, like, do you have that same thing? Like, I'm trying to think of activities where like there's a lot of hair. Like,
Bayonetta.
I'm gonna say female tennis, not male tennis, because most male tennis players don't have long hair. But like
Yeah.
female tennis players, like there's a lot of movement there.
Yeah. Which is why I don't like female UFC, because they always have it like tight braid.
Well,
Well, yeah.
it's harder to grab that way.
Yeah. So like
Interesting. That is. Huh.
like that clip of Megan Lehman going around where like she's like jumping her up and down and like then like it cuts is like what number was she wearing? I'm like I'm looking at her hair and not at what everyone else is looking at.
You know, I kind of get that. I kind of get that because like a lot of times you'll see like glamour shots taken. It's a really popular like underwater pose where like they'll come out of the water and throw their head back.
Oh, I
And
like
you take a time lapse photo.
yeah, that's really cool. And like I personally like the 0G look it like while they're underwater.
Oh, okay.
I prefer that because it just like it like looks unnatural in the way that it is moving.
All right, okay. Do you want to back this up then with a phobia?
I don't like pen ink. Yeah.
Please explain.
So I hate writing with pens because I don't like touching pen ink. Like when people write in pen on their hand, oh that skeeves me out.
Really?
Yeah. I hate it. And I can trace exactly where it happened, like what to the point where it became like a trigger.
Oh, please.
It's third grade school, when we started learning to write in pen. And they forced us to use those stupid, terrible eraser mate erasable pens that didn't erase, they just smeared.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So that's exactly because like my hands would always be covered in ink after writing in pen, and when that's like your first interaction with a pen, I have irrationally hated writing with pens ever since.
Interesting. And so wow. And you won't write on yourself.
I will write on myself in Sharpie. I have no problem with
Okay.
that. But like
Okay.
ballpoint pen ink it's mostly specifically ballpoint pens. Because I run Pilot G2s as like my daily as like my everyday pen, so I can write with a G2 in the right tip, but like a Bic ballpoint pen, I hate it. Like just like looking at the tip of a pen that's been like unless it's like fresh out of the pack, brand new. Like when it starts to get that fuzz on the roller on the ball. Ugh,
Oh my god.
I hate it. Can't stand it.
If you're while I do absolutely love a good G2, might I recommend if you're looking for a really good pen, Sharpie makes a brand of pens that is easily the most enjoyable writing implement I've ever used.
Oh yeah, what are they called? I used to sell
Hashtag
them.
not sponsored.
I used to sell them, and I
I
was
have one over here.
I was very because there were samples out when they first came out, and they were really trying to push them. They gave us a whole bunch of samples for them, and I was meh.
S Gel, Sharpie S Gel pens.
I don't remember what I didn't like about them. I can't remember, but I didn't like them.
So weird.
Was it
So
the
weird.
was it the way they write on the paper, like the texture of the writing?
I think they were too.
Too glidey, too sticky.
No, I couldn't tell you exactly why I didn't like them, but I tried them out and I just didn't like them. So I stuck with my G2s. Because I like how sharp the G2s are. Because if you get them in the 0.5, they are so crisp.
Now I will say I agree. If you get the S gels in a 0.5, because you might have had a 0.7.
So we had all of the tip sizes out.
Oh, okay.
I tried them all, and none of them felt
I'm
better than
shocked.
a G2.
I am shocked. What a strange phobia.
Well, it's understandable because
Uh,
it's like when your first interaction with a pen is you getting pen ink all over you while writing.
well, I gotta admit, I have terrible penmanship, and even when I write naturally, regardless of what pen it is, I write with my right hand. I get an ink stain and an ink smear at the base of my pinky from how I write because the way I hold the pen and the way I move my hand over the page, I'm always kind of scraping it against like basically if I'm writing like if I write one line and then I write a line underneath it, the way I hold the pen, that part of my pinky is touching the line above and it drags across the paper and ends up staining.
Oh, okay. Because I curl my pinky in. So it's like in fist, like the pinky is in fist position when I write. So it's not touching anything except for paper and no ink.
Oh, I'm holding a pen right now. Interesting. Oh God, that feels so unnatural. Maybe
Yeah,
this is
like,
why I have such terrible penmanship.
yeah, because yeah,
Have I been writing incorrectly my entire life?
I don't, maybe. Because I think I actually have pretty good penmanship.
I have chicken scratch. You can barely my writing is barely legible.
Mine really depends on the printer I'm sending it out of.
I have written things down and then gone back to them later and been like, what the hell does this even say? Who wrote
So
this? All right,
you
it was
can't
you.
you can't read your handwriting or you can't read your shorthand.
I can't read my handwriting.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got the thing where like I do like flowy letters kind of in certain
Half
letters,
cursive?
like half cursive.
You
Like
do
my,
half cursive.
like my F's
Okay.
are like crazy.
Do
But
you print or do you write in cursive naturally?
I print.
Interesting.
I
I
do-
actually had to break myself of that. I used to write in cursive naturally, and then I realized nobody wants you to write in cursive.
But writing in cursive is faster.
Writing in cursive is faster.
It's the only reason why I write in cursive. If I have to like keep up with stuff, I'll write in cursive. But like everything else, I just print.
I have a phobia that is not nearly as unique as that, but um, I have for the entirety of my life. Um, it's a little bit paradoxical. I am deathly afraid of heights, but I love being up high.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is like, I won't like, I don't like if I'm on a really tall mountain or something like that, I cannot get too close to the edge. But if I'm
Okay.
on like a skyscraper, I'm good.
Okay.
Ferris wheel, no good. Ferris wheel's not good.
I have that in between the heights of about from like 6 feet through like 20 feet.
And then what, after 20 feet, you don't care?
Yeah. Like once it gets to the height where like I'll die if I fall, I don't care. Because I've fallen off a ladder before, and that was atrocious. Because
How high was the ladder?
it was
It doesn't have to be high.
it was like a 10 or 12 foot ladder.
Woo!
I was up, and like it was like my own dumb fault because like I had it propped up in an area because I was working on a heater, like a suspended air heater, and I was up working on it, and I had to prop the ladder up against something because like there was no way to get at the heater without like dismantling the table, and like not like a table but like a whole like growing bench. So I just kind of like propped it up against the wall and like went up it. And then I don't know what happened, but I fell off, and then I blacked out, and I came to in a broken table. And that's why I don't like the heights between like 6 and 20 feet.
But after that, you're fine.
Yeah, after that, I'm fine.
Because you figure if you fall, you're just gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
At a certain
I mean, I
point,
can
it
see the
becomes
wisdom in
not
that.
my problem.
That makes a strange sort of sense to me, I suppose.
Yeah, because I've gone up and fixed flagpoles before. You got to go like 200 feet in the air. That's fine.
Oh my god, just thinking about that makes my skin crawl.
Oh, do you ever watch those videos of the people who have to change the light bulbs on the radio towers? They work like 2 days a year, and they get paid like $40,000.
Let me tell you, I would get over my fear of heights if given the opportunity for that job. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. I don't have that problem. I'll just do it.
Because like if you're gonna pay me that much money, like you know what? Yeah, I'll get. Honestly, as long as I'm secured to whatever I'm climbing, I'm good.
Yeah, typically that sort of thing. You have you always have 2 points. You have because there are points where you have to transition from one to the other. So you always have one on before you take the other one. The first, you always have the second one on before you take the first one off.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like at certain points you do have to transition your tether points.
Mm-hmm. That's why you have 2.
I used to live with a guy who his job was maintaining and repairing cell phone towers. So he would just climb up the cell phone towers, and like it was like he would talk about it like it was no big thing. They paid him a lot of money to do that.
Yeah, because nobody wants to do it.
Because nobody wants to do it. Yeah. Which I mean, understandably so.
Because isn't it like, I guess, statistically above like average of people who are like afraid of heights? Isn't that like, I don't know if I like where I might have heard that, but
no, there God, I hate to quote him, but Seinfeld used to have a bit about it. He used to say the number one fear amongst people is is public. Oh no, I'm sorry. Um, it wasn't about heights. It was about public speaking. That is apparently the most commonly held fear is public speaking, and with number two being death, which means if you're at a funeral, you would rather be in the casket than doing the eulogy, statistically speaking.
Interesting.
I've always heard of public speaking being a phobia. I have never been afraid of public speaking.
I've never been afraid of it. I just don't like doing it.
I like doing it. I get a little nervous, but once I'm in there, once I'm doing it, I love it.
Says the
But I'm an
conference
attention
creator
whore,
on
so.
YouTube.
I have to have sufficient drink in me to get over the nervousness. Then I just get really chatty for some reason.
You don't say.
I don't know what I'm saying. I don't remember what I'm saying.
My other phobia, and this is a real primal one, and actually didn't even know I had this until a couple years ago. I'm afraid of the dark,
Huh.
and not like to the point where like I can't sleep in a dark room or like that. I don't mind, but like if I'm outside in the dark, oh, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
And I discovered this. I was backpacking, and we ended up spending the night on the mountain that we were hiking. And like it was literally like we pitched our tent. We walked off the hiking trail and just pitched our tent in the brush. And I will never forget. We heard a noise in the night, and I opened up the tent flap to like investigate. And I opened it up, and it was just the darkest dark I have ever experienced. And I was instantly terrified.
So you could never do the show alone.
No, definitely not.
I could never do the show alone for a completely different reason. And that's because if I ever encountered a black bear, I would want to go pet it. Because if not friend, why friend shape?
I mean, I forget. Are black bears the most violent ones? No, those are grizzlies, right?
No, polar bears.
Polar bears.
Polar bears.
I mean, with a black bear, you might get lucky. It might not be hungry.
Yeah, polar bears, since the only thing that they eat is meat, if they see you, you're food. Brown bears, it's more like protection than anything else. It's more of like defensive fear than anything else. And then black bears, it's hit or miss with a black bear. They could just be investigating you and then run away when you make noise, or they see you as competition for other food.
I saw this one TikTok of a guy. He was backpacking, and I think it maybe started raining, or he was just taking a break, and he found a hole in the ground. And he climbed into the hole and like started relaxing. And then next thing he knows, this bear is outside the hole. And I'm like, oh my God, you're in its den. You're in its den. You're in its den. That's why it's here. You're in its home.
Why would you crawl into a random hole in the woods and relax?
Because it's raining?
Yeah, I can't remember if it was actually raining or not, but like, yeah, like he climbed into this hole, and then like the video picks up with him like being like, oh my God. And then he pans the camera over to the front of the hole, and it's just this black bear just sniffing. And like he gets real close to him and is like sniffing. And I'm like, oh, you better hope it just lets you leave. Like apologize and just pray that it lets you leave.
There's the video of the guy in a tree stand, and a black bear comes climbing up the tree to investigate him. And the guy's just chilling there in his tree stand. Like the bear comes right up to the same level as his tree stand and just starts checking him out.
Have you ever seen a shaved bear?
Yes. They're
Nightmare
terrifying.
fuel. They're terrifying. They look like an eldritch horror.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if fur, friend shape.
I mean,
Can I pet
yeah.
that dog? Pet that dog?
Apparently, pandas are vicious.
Pandas are assholes.
Yeah. So are koala bears. They all have chlamydia.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Panda bears have chlamydia.
Why?
Why do you think?
Because they're in Australia.
Do panda bears have orgies? Or koala bears have orgies?
Well, it does kind of get around.
Wait, 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 wait. Do they have chlamydia because people gave it to them?
Oh, that I don't know. That was not. I was not.
Probably.
That's not where I was leaning.
Who knows?
Okay.
It's humans.
Okay.
Yeah. If it moves, someone will try and fuck it.
They organized
Oh.
a raid on Area 51 to clap dem cheeks.
I mean, look. You know it would happen. If
It would
aliens made
absolutely
contact, like,
happen.
it would absolutely happen.
If aliens made contact, it would end up like Mass Effect, where everything's a romance option. And of course, you pick
Like, if
Garrus.
for no other reason than the novelty.
I have
What about you,
trypophobia.
Lost? Do you have any phobias?
You both spoke at once. And I missed both of it.
Do you
Wait.
have phobias?
Yeah. To an extent. Like I would say I have a light arachnophobia, and in very specific terms, like most real world spiders might ick me out a little. I'm not gonna necessarily want to be near them, but like whatever. Um, there are actually a couple. There's like what is it? The bold jumping spider. They're basically just small puppies.
Yeah. The
They're
little
fine.
crabby, jumpy spiders.
Yeah,
They're awesome.
yeah, they're adorable. But like honestly, it's more specifically like in media and stuff. If a spider is over a certain size, no, no,
Really?
yeah, I found this with a few video games actually. Um, Star Wars, which one is it? The one with Cal Kestis. I always forget the name. There was a sequel
It's
not
not
too
Force
long ago.
Unleashed.
Oh yeah.
No, not Force Unleashed. Hold on, let me look it up. But like that one, for instance, when you get to Kashyyyk, the I want to say the Y box, the big fuck off tree spiders. They're just I couldn't play that section too much because I'd start to have panic attacks from the stress.
So you would hate the scene in Black Myth Wukong where you're chased by a horde of spiders.
Yep. I probably wouldn't be happy about it. How big are they?
They're probably about human sized.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. There was a game that I had bought a few years ago, and I remember I had gotten a copy for myself and a close friend, and it came with a light gun, so it was not cheap. So it was for the Sony PSVR 1, I guess now. And we go to play it, and we're playing it, and it's like, okay, cool. It's like a co-op, and like it's a co-op VR. There wasn't a whole lot of that, and we start running into the enemies, and they're basically just alien spiders. And I'm doing okay. They're only like, I don't know, small dog sized for a little while, and then they get to the point where they're like people sized. I'm like, I can't. That was a waste of like $100. Crap. Oh no. Because I couldn't. especially at that low a level. I couldn't, like, I just couldn't. It was a struggle.
Yeah.
And partially because I was panicking.
Most spiders I don't mind. It's like um the obviously like poisonous ones where I just like do not F with.
Yeah.
But in
I
this,
was deathly afraid of spiders for the longest time in my life. And then at a certain point, I don't know when or why or what inspired this, but I joke that like I made a pact with with the spider god, where I was like, okay, guys, you can live in my, we can share space, and I won't kill you as long as you stay away from me. You can do whatever you want in the space, just stay away from me. And ever since I kind of made that agreement with myself, and I haven't killed a spider since, um, it amazingly has kind of like broken my fear. Where like there was one night, probably about a year ago, I was walking from my bathroom back into my room, and in the middle of the door frame was this spider just coming down on a web. And like it was like eye level with me, and I walked right past it.
huh?
And I just like I was like, okay, buddy, like you know the deal. You're getting too close. And I scooped him up on a piece of paper and just tossed him outside my bathroom door. And was like, there you go. Like that's your spot. Don't come back in here. Like it's the weirdest thing.
So I actually have a similar thing. The back door of where I live. I don't know what they're actually called, but they're a specific type of spider, obviously. But there's a lot of yellow and black on them. I don't think they're like super venomous or anything. I mean, they look probably not great, but like the area I live in doesn't have a lot of like venomous spiders or anything either. So, um, but like they just seem to like populate and like create a bunch of webs around the back door. And it's kind of the same thing. I'm like, okay, you're good here. Just don't obstruct me coming in and out. And I don't want I don't want to see you inside. Like I won't knock your shit down, and all that. But like I don't, you're good here. Just I don't want to see you inside. And kind of the running, and it's sort of the same thing. The running gag is okay. Here's the deal. I don't see you. There's not a problem. I see you. I might give you a warning. I might evict you. But like, yeah, it's kind of the same deal. I think it also doesn't help that like cats, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there
and it
was
doesn't hurt anyway.
it's so funny because like ever since making the deal with the spiders, like last summer, I had ant problems down here because I live in a basement. I live in a finished basement, and I
Mhm.
had ant problems. And I keep my cat's food on the ground, so the ants would come and eat my cat's food. And like, not like she really cared because she would just eat them.
Yeah,
Like if they were on a
it's
piece
extra
of kibble that
protein.
she was eating, that's just extra protein. Um, but I noticed that a spider made its web above her cat food. And she didn't care that it was there. She didn't care that that spider was there, but it killed all the ants, and the ants stopped going after her food. So I was like, look at you. Like, look at this like symbiotic relationship ever since we made this pact.
Yeah, because
Spiders.
all spiders want to do is eat other insects.
Mhm.
Speaking of insects, I cannot stand millipedes.
Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
gross me
Anything
out.
with more than 8 legs, I'm done.
I'm fine with
I'm
done.
centipedes.
50-50 with I'm actually the other way around. I'm 50-50 with millipedes depending on how they are, but centipedes in general,
I'm fine with centipedes, but millipedes, they creep me the ever living Christ out.
Centipede, millipede, they may as well be the same thing to me. Like I did, gun to my head to tell you the difference between a millipede and a centipede. That gun's going off.
Corporate needs you to find the difference between these two pictures.
They're the same picture.
Although I like house centipedes.
Oh no, they're the worst kinds because
They're
they're
the-
the ones you see all the time.
Yeah, but the only thing that they're doing is running around and hunting like pests.
Yeah, I don't have an agreement with them. I don't have a deal with them.
You should have
Yeah,
a deal
they-
with them because all they're doing the same job as spiders. They're just searching
Yeah,
for.
but they're so much more icky.
Don't they
And,
sting?
and you know what
I
the
thought
worst
they
part
s-
is? I won't kill
the-
them because they're too big.
No, they I don't. Maybe if like you mess with them, they'll bite you. But like they'll
I'm
usually
not worried
just
about it biting me. I don't want it to be all gushy when I smush it.
they just kind of like leave you alone. Because they're like they don't care about you. They want food, and that food is other bugs.
Yeah, I mean they're always running away. Like I don't kill them, but like I always get freaked out when I see them. Makes my skin crawl.
Yeah, I have the same problem. I then the rest of the night I'm like, oh, is it running up my leg? I don't like it.
Although the thing that makes me want to tear my skin off is I have trypophobia. I
Can
cannot.
you really?
I can.
Is that the whole thing?
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
Oh, so like a lotus pod, just no for you.
No.
Yeah.
So what is that? What
It
about it?
it's I think it's just a primal fear of like things that could cause you harm, and I don't know why.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I don't think I don't know if I necessarily have it, but in a lot of cases, some of those photos make me uncomfortable.
It's
I can kind of relate because I have looked at like at like photos specifically to trigger. I can't pronounce that tryptophobia.
trypophobia.
Trypophobia. And while I'm not, it doesn't repel me. A couple of them did definitely make me feel a little uneasy. So I'm with you that it has to be a primal fear somewhere.
It's the way that I react to it is like I want to tear my skin off because my skin is crawling so bad that I just want to like rip parts of my skin off.
I wonder what that stems from.
And it's
I wonder
only
if there was maybe some sort of parasite or something.
maybe. And like the only thing that does it is like when it's naturally occurring. So like lotus pods,
Really?
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
bug holes, and bug like when
Mhm.
you like laying eggs and things like that.
But like say like a Connect Four, like a like a Connect Four board only with like
Yeah.
backings, just so like the holes aren't
There's nothing. It's
pass through.
Yes, and yeah, very few machined or human made things.
Yeah, so like if it's like the backplate on a computer, the like for the vent, it's fine, absolutely fine, no issues whatsoever. But if it's like made naturally, I think it's like the irregularity of it is what throws. It's like
Fascinating.
I can't.
It's interesting. I once knew somebody, I can't think of who it was, but like they were deathly afraid of like thunder.
Oh yeah, no, I know a couple of people that they're not necessarily afraid of it. It's it just well, I mean, I guess they kind of are in a lot of cases, but it's like they even admit it's an irrational fear. I know unless especially thunder really can't do anything to me, but like I don't know, it makes me scared. Not me. I actually love thunderstorms
Me too.
Yeah,
like
they're great.
rolling, those like real heavy rolling thunderstorms. Oh, I love those. But like I had I had a friend years ago was like absolutely um would go lay down in the like try and basically either hide under the covers or go to sleep. Full grown person.
Oh, we used to have
Uh,
porch parties. We'd have a covered porch, and we just sit out on the front deck, on the front
mhm.
porch, and
Oh
just
yeah.
watch the thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a real big primal because like I can
Yeah.
understand humanity being afraid of thunder, before we really knew what the hell it was.
Yeah.
And now like I can understand people still being afraid of it just because again, it's that, like I don't want to
It's
say
an
genetic
effect
memory, but
when
like
it hits. I mean, the thing is, it is a very visceral thing, almost regardless, because it is. I don't think I've ever heard a small like they're all. I don't know. I feel like they get taken for granted in a lot of ways.
To pivot to something that like to a really something that I really like. It's
Mm.
very specific. The lines on a Coke bottle car just does
mine's
something.
on a Coke bottle car.
That
What?
really tickles
Look,
my brain.
what is a Coke bottle car?
I had the same question. What is a
Like
Coke bottle?
the
Oh,
big wide haunches on a car,
okay.
So
So you like a car with a booty?
like the old like
a
muscle cars,
Stingray. Yeah.
like the Camaros, Challengers, Chargers of back in the day,
Mm.
like that big
Yeah.
like the big booty on the car.
The old vets, the Firebird, let's see, the Firebird Banshee concept, for instance.
Yeah, like the just like the haunches. They got some meat on there. They got some meat on them.
Yeah.
Thick, triple C thick.
Thicker than a milkshake.
Swear to God, Asher. Swear to Christ.
Just tickles my brain.
Sometimes, man, I swear. I I wouldn't say I have a phobia per se because I'm not repelled and I won't like I'll engage with media that has them in it, but never been a huge fan of clowns.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, it's not like a
Something
phobia.
about
It's
them.
just a general dislike.
It
Yeah.
really depends for me. I think it really does depend for me. Um, the media and the context. Like a creepy clown is like, okay, yeah, that's okay, that's unsettling. But like for me, like someone who's not trying to necessarily be an unsettling clown, maybe probably less of a problem for me. Now I know someone who absolutely was it oh, well, there's a name for it, um, but I forget the name of the phobia. Not chlorophobia. Hold on, I gotta look it up now because it's like there's actually a name for the clown phobia.
While you look that up, it's actually the opposite for me. I
Oh,
the creepy clowns not as unsettling as clowns that aren't trying to be creepy. I am way more
chlorophobia.
unsettled by like the normal standard run of the mill clowns than I am creepy clowns.
Yeah, because it seems like the creepy clowns are like trying to be creepy clowns. The regular clowns
And
are
again,
just
it depends. And like,
unnatural.
I'm not running into clowns in the wild. I'm not. I'm seeing them on like TV and stuff. Like,
It's the same thing with like mimes for me as well. It's like I don't like dislike them, but I certainly don't like them.
Yeah. Mimes. Yeah, not a big fan of mimes. Coulrophobia is the fear of clowns.
yes,
I'm trying to think of other things that I don't. That's more of like a weird thing that I dislike. Huh. Or a weird thing that I like.
I have a irrational phobia of metal in my mouth. I do not like the feeling of metal in my mouth.
Interesting.
I am so adverse to it.
I
At home, I use plastic utensils
I
at
think
home.
I knew that about you, but I just keep forgetting about it. Because it doesn't sound like it's something my brain says it's not something new that I knew.
It's a weird one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why I don't like going to the dentist.
Well,
Fair.
the
I
dentists
try
are
to
just
go to the dentist as little as possible because I can't take it.
they're just medieval torturers.
Kind of.
That's
Coming
actually
at
a bit of a phobia for me. Is the dental office in general.
coming at you with like tiny metal picks to pick at your gums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem with the dentist. Whatever. Scrape
I
my
like
teeth.
that's the
Whatever.
thing. I don't know when it developed, but it definitely hit at a certain point, and it's just I'll have a panic attack.
Same. And like I hadn't
I'll
always
sit
had
in the,
this fear.
I'll sit in the chair for a cleaning, and I'll have a panic attack.
Yeah. I've
And then they
started
can't.
asking.
Then they can't do anything. Like they can't. Like if they need to do anything that they're gonna like sedate me at all, they can't now because I'm having a panic attack.
So this has helped me with this. Do one of two things. Ask them for laughing gas during your cleanings if they're going to use metal instruments. Or go to a dentist that does cleaning with does hydro cleaning, no metal instruments. They do it all with like a super high powered water pick and a
It's actually
sonic.
got nothing to do with the instruments.
Is it just laying there in that chair?
I couldn't really explain what it is outside of. Well, I mean, okay, I can tell you this. I had braces for 7 years. 4 separate orthodontists. You're not
Yeesh.
supposed to have
Oh
braces that
God.
long.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
So, like, there was a lot of pain associated with that.
Yeah.
So, how much
So
nitrous
that's
would you
probably
need?
not helping.
Would you need a 50 shot, a 100 shot, 150 shot of NOS? Playing the
No,
Fast and Furious theme.
I don't know what I'm rated for, honestly. Just gonna blow a head gas.
Do you have forged valves and pistons?
I might need a stage 1 upgrade. I'm not gonna lie.
In the same vein, I don't like wood in my mouth. Yeah. Giggity.
Really?
Yeah.
So
like-
bamboo, none of that.
Yeah, no, it's like you know the feeling of that little wooden paddle from the old school ice cream cups?
Yes.
That's
I always
all I feel when I like any sort of like wood or like paper product hits my teeth.
I always felt
Do
like
you
that
feel
was
that way about
one bad
chopsticks?
day. Yeah, that makes sense.
Not really. It depends on the chopstick, really.
I have metal chopsticks.
You're a monster.
Yeah, if like it's weird because the lower quality of the chopstick it is, the less I care about it. But if it's like a higher quality wood chopstick, I hate it.
So the lower cost ones are normally bamboo, are they not?
I don't know. But for whatever reason, like the fast food chopstick, perfectly fine.
Oh, that I feel like that's basically balsa wood.
Yeah, kinda.
So yeah, I used to have my own set of plastic chopsticks. But yeah, it's just like the feeling of wood on my teeth. And like the worst part about it nowadays is now that nobody's using plastic straws and using the paper straws, I can't drink a fast food soda anymore, like with a straw.
Oh wow.
You can get portable straws.
Yeah,
Like you can get like ones with cases.
I don't drink fast food soda that often.
That's true.
I
But
used to have a fear of needles. Um, and then when I broke my leg, I had to get my blood drawn twice a week, and I got over it.
Oof.
I don't have
But I
a
used to have a really big fear of needles.
I don't have a fear of needles. I just don't like watching them go into me.
Yeah,
Same. I
same.
can't watch it. I can't watch it go in. Once it's in, I'm fine, but I can't watch it pierce my skin.
Yeah.
And it's only my skin. If I'm watching somebody else get their blood drawn or getting an injection, no worries. Nothing. Feel
Yeah.
nothing.
Same.
It's why I could
And-
never do H.
It made doing my injections really difficult because I have to do it to myself, and I have to be able to see
Oh,
where I'm
yeah.
injecting. So what I do is I end up sitting the needle point against my leg, and then I look up and then just push down until I know I've broken through my skin, and then I can look at it and push it in the rest of the way. But I cannot watch it pierce my skin.
Huh. See, the piercing
You
the
know-
skin isn't it's the vein. It's going after the vein is the what really skeeves me out.
See, I do intermuscular, so I don't have to. I don't have to.
So
hit a
yeah, if it's
vein.
just like in the muscle or in fat, that's I don't know, whatever. I don't care. Because I had to I had the allergy test done, and it was we got to 25 before they figured out what I was allergic to. So they went up both.
What was
five, Hornets. It was hornets.
I
Oh.
figured it was bullshit. I know you're allergic to bullshit.
Well, no, I'm half bullshit.
Yeah, it's a hell of an allergy to have. You're allergic to yourself.
But yeah, I'm allergic to hornets. I found that out the hard way by messing with a ground hornet nest.
Ugh.
So I pulled open a site that lists a bunch of phobias and stuff, and under rare phobias, it lists the fear of chewing gum, and it's called chicklephobia. Chickles? That's a gum brand.
Chiclets.
Yeah,
Yeah, chiclets.
Chiclet phobia.
Huh. How common is fear of balloons? Because don't we know somebody who's afraid of balloons?
Do
We do know someone who's afraid of balloons. Who is it? I can't remember who it is, but we do know someone who's afraid of balloons. And not even just the popping of the balloons, like
Just-
the actual texture and feel of balloons.
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't remember who that is though. Did you know that's a kink too?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, balloons. Balloons are a kink. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how that would work, and I'm not sure I want to.
Basically like caressing the balloon, like the sound that it makes when your flesh slides along the balloon.
I hate that.
As well as popping the balloon is a part of the kink as well.
Here's a new kink that I found out about that I'm kind of weirded out by. It's the
God.
the vacuum forming, where they put you in a giant vacuum bag, and they have a mouthpiece where you can breathe in and out of, and they just vacuum seal you in the bag.
Oh,
I've kind of
good.
always
I
wanted
was
to
going to
try
ask
that.
about that because I was pretty sure, from what I remembered, humans need air.
Yeah, so they like
And don't
I've
survive
kind of
well
always
in a
wanted to try
vacuum.
that.
yeah, so they have like an open mouth gag where they shove the vent into your mouth so you can breathe, and they vacuum seal the rest of the bag, and they hang you up in the air like a side of beef.
So this actually leads into one of my phobias. I've got just a touch of what is it, the confined places.
Claustrophobia.
Claustrophobia, yeah. It's kind of very
Mm.
specific situations. Like yeah, like a small closet or like an elevator. It's stuff like that, I'm generally fine. But like cave systems do not ask me to go through a squeeze. I'm not. I'm not going to do it. Also, my
Yeah,
source
I'm kind of
code
with you on that.
yeah, my source code doesn't fit on anything less than a terabyte.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I'm not like I'm not claustrophobic, but like I'm not you won't catch my ass in a cave. Like that's not happening. Like I'm not going splunking.
I'll go through like a show cave. I'll go through like but like if
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
to
yeah.
if I have to squeeze through and make sure I didn't eat a large breakfast that morning, I'm not going.
Yeah, I don't have that problem. I was looking to be in the submarine service, so
I was going to join the Marines for a reason. And it's not because I have a small rib cage. Because I don't. So me squeezing through it, no.
and I always tour the Torsk when I'm down in Baltimore.
Oh, that's the submarine down there, right?
Yep, it's the diesel boat that's down there. I go and touch the
I could
boat.
not imagine being on a submarine,
It's fine.
just cramped up with nothing but death waiting for you outside.
Yeah, the crushing weight of the ocean around you.
All that is between you and the crushing death of the ocean is, metal that as so far has not crushed.
Have you watched the movie Down Periscope with
Oh my god,
Kelsey
it's amazing.
Grammer?
It's one of my favorites. I love it so much.
No.
When they do their first
Oh,
when they do their first dive, the old diesel boat guy, and he's got a couple guys in the engine room, and he stretches a string from one bulkhead to the other, and as they dive, you can watch the string slacken as the water pressure crushes the ship.
mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
the line of
no. Oh, God.
now watch the string as we dive. The ocean's gonna crush us like an empty beer can.
Oh. Ocean. I'm afraid of the ocean.
Yeah,
Yeah, you said
have
that you were
I have
afraid of
some
like the
light
open
oh,
ocean.
Yeah.
I have some light thalassophobia. I think I would probably be okay on a boat, but as long as I don't think too much about the fact that if the boat went down, I would be in the middle of nowhere, essentially 2 miles up in the water from the the floor of the base of the sea.
The only
With
thing
no idea with no idea of what is below
What's
you.
below me? Yeah, exactly.
the only thing that like kind of freaks me out with the open ocean is like looking down into it and seeing something that I'm not prepared to see.
Your reflection.
Like an eldritch horror.
Yeah. Like if there was just like
Because you know that shit exists down there. Like you know that there is some mind-breaking shit that exists that far down.
yeah. I'm not talking about like weird animals. I'm talking like monstrosities. Like monsters of the deep.
Which exist. Like we have multiple sightings of like giant squid. Like monstrous giant squid.
For a while everyone thought they were like a myth. They were only like myths of like ship tales. And then one washed up on the shore.
Well,
Yeah,
they
open
they
oceans.
were
Open
able to
oceans weird.
figure out rough estimations when they were finding the beaks in the stomachs of beached whales.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Creepy. Creepy, creepy, creepy. Oh, and that's the other thing that triggers my My darkness phobia is on a cruise ship out in the middle of the ocean at night on like a new moon. Oh my God, you have never seen darkness like that. It is like choking. It's choking darkness. Like you look at like the light sources from the ship and it only goes out like the light source only goes out so far before it's just like nope.
The forest on a moonless night.
Yeah, that's where I learned that I have a fear of the dark.
No, so you're not
'Cause I don't
much of a
remember the moon.
camper.
I don't remember the moon that night. I just remember looking out that tent and just everything was dark. Everything. And it creeped me out so bad. I came back into the tent. I came back into the tent and the person I was with like had to like talk me down. Like I was so freaked out. I guess we'll leave off. Another thing I found on this list of phobias, there is a fear of long words.
Yeah, and isn't
And
the word for it just like the entire alphabet?
pretty much the only letter I'm not really seeing here is Z. I am gonna try to pronounce this. Hippopotomonstrosis quipid aliophobia. I will drop the spelling in the chat for anybody. You know what? That's what we should call this episode.
The SEO is
But
gonna
yeah,
love it.
the only I don't see an X either.
I
Probably
don't.
a couple of other
I
letters
think they
missing.
had to remove it after Elon bought Twitter.
But like, look at that. Like, what?
Why would you do that? I know why you would do that. Sense of humor.
Isn't there a fear of like multiple L's in a word? And the word for the fear is just all L's.
Oh, that's wrong.
Let me try. Let me find out. Hold on. Fear of L's.
It's something weird like that. People who name phobias are assholes.
Are assholes. Real dicks. Yeah. There's definitely some phobias where like you look at the name and you're like, really? Oh, phobophobia, fear of phobias.
Huh.
Kind of a phobiaception there.
You know, I know someone who I don't remember, but basically has a zombie phobia, and yet paradoxically, is fascinated with zombie media. Um, yeah. The thought terrifies them, but they love a zombie almost anything. It's crazy. So they were someone was trying to talk them out of it one time, and they said, you know, you realize it's a phobia, right? Like, well, yeah, but if I figured if you get like, it's an irrational fear. Irrational. I know it's stupid. I understand these don't exist.
There's a fear of pickles too.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that is irrational. We need to talk people out of that. Pickles are delicious.
Venus trap phobia, fear of beautiful women.
I thought they were afraid of the plants.
I know, right? Zygerphobia, fear of vacuum cleaners. Every dog suffers from that. I refuse to believe that this name is real. Let's see if you guys can guess this one.
Oh, no.
Samhainophobia.
It's a fear of Halloween.
It is. It is.
Yes. And that would be pronounced Samhain.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Mm.
Samhainophobia? Yeah, samhainophobia. Yeah, okay, yeah.
freaking Celtic words. Celtic pronunciation is just the worst. Nothing means what it actually sounds like.
I mean,
Pyrophobia?
it could be Welsh. I hope you like consonants.
Papyrophobia. Care to take a guess of what that one is?
Fear of paper?
It is a fear of paper. Trying to see if there's any more super interestings here. You know what? A phobia that's always interested me, that like it's so hard for me to wrap my head around. And it's a symptom of one of the scariest diseases. Like the more I learn about this disease, the more terrified I am of it. Hydrophobia, which is a
Oh yeah,
symptoms of rabies.
Yeah, fear of water.
yeah, that is. Yeah, that is apparently like that. That's not my understanding. That is it even like a fear at that point? That's like a physical reaction. Your body just will not allow you to process it, right?
So it triggers a basically I think like a gag reflex
Yeah.
because your mouth is producing so much saliva that it tricks your body into thinking it's drowning.
Mm.
You're
Okay, so
you're
it
basically
basically I see.
waterboarding yourself
Ooh.
involuntarily. So if they try to bring you water, it's just triggering you think you're going to drown some more.
Did you know that there's no cure for rabies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
That's why you need the
Terrifying.
vaccine within 24 hours of being bit.
Or that's it. Or you're done.
It's not 100% mortality rate, but it's high enough where you're probably going to die. Because that's a misconception that it is 100% mortality rate. It is not. It's like 80%, but you know.
I mean, it's high enough. It's high enough where you're probably going to die.
That's still too high enough for me.
And with that, you have wasted another perfectly good hour of your life, which, for those playing the home game, fear of time is, oh, it's somewhere in this list. There's a fear of time. It's crazy.
Tell
Oh,
me
no,
it's
there it
not
is.
chronotophobia.
Chromatophobia. Yeah.
No, chronophobia.
Chronomentrophobia.
Chronomentrophobia. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Or no, I'm sorry. No, chronomentrophobia is a fear of clocks. Chronophobia is a fear of time.
Yeah, there it is.
And I fear that brings us to the end of the episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to share your phobias or your odd likes down below in the comments, we'd love to hear them. While you're down there, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and share. It really helps us out. Thank you so much for listening. I have been Mara.
I've been Asher.
I've been lost or not.
Stay afraid, cheese bags.
The fear of cheese is turophobia.